I'm standing in the hills above Holy Cross Monastery in West Virginia, and this is the first day of the second half of Great Lent. And the thought occurs to reflect for just a brief moment on stillness, particularly given the surroundings all around us here. We're standing in these hills as the buds on the trees are just starting to come into life. We hear birds singing, and as we stop and listen, we hear almost a symphony of sounds from the world around us, and sights are creeping out, little saplings emerging beneath the dead leaves, buds coming out on the trees. And there's something very important in this as a spiritual lesson for us. Lent is situated in the springtime, perhaps for a reason, that we're reminded also in our spiritual life of new birth and of new creation. But we don't see this, we don't experience this, unless we're still, unless we take silence seriously. And in our lives today we have so little stillness and so little silence that the world passes us by and we see almost nothing of it. Nothing of the creation that God has planted right before our eyes. So as we enter into the second half of the fast, where we draw ever closer to Holy Pascha, let us all take a few moments every day to be still, to close our eyes and our ears, to allow the stillness of God to blossom in our heart. And we find that when we do this, when we open our eyes, when we open our ears, we see and we hear new things. We're reminded of Christ's repeated comment to his holy disciples and apostles: those who have eyes to see will see, and those who have ears to hear will hear. When we live in a world where our ears are stuffed up by too much sound, where our eyes are clouded over by so much that we ought not to see, let us cleanse ourselves with quiet, with stillness, that we can see the beauty of God's creation. Firstly, all around us, the trees, the birds, the little animals, but also and more profoundly the beautiful creation of our own created being, of our own heart, which is also precious and beautiful, and also is coming into new life, yearning to blossom and to bloom into something holy. May we be attentive that we can see what God is working in our hearts. May we have a blessed continuation of the fast and come together still and filled with life at the Lord's holy resurrection.